before, but not this many. So,
First kick in 2 years to make a 50-yarder. How'd it feel to see that first one go through?
man, it's just nice to be playing again. Through all the waiting, then all the work in the last 2 years, I really feel like I've gotten a little bit better over the last 2 years, and it was just fun to go out there and just have fun with it again.
How tough was it last year at Florida State, not just getting one PAT and just waiting to get back on the field?
That was a great team to wait, on kicking for. So I had a good time, learned a lot about myself and my routine, and just really learned about my love for the game again. So just to get back and show all that again is such an unreal experience.
Tyler, what have you learned from Coach Deacon so far?
Coach Deacon's one of the best in the game. I'm telling you, like the way that he treats us and the way that he talks to us and instructs us, you know, it's hard not to learn something from him every time you talk to him. But at the same time, he's just out there with us. He's our friend as much as he's our coach. He's so supportive in what we do, and no matter what's going on at practice, success, highs, lows, he's just always there to talk to you and be there for you.
How cool is it to know that you're the first OU player to be the SEC Player of the Week in some category? I mean, is that something you're gonna wear forever?
To bring it back down, I was sent out for 3 kicks, and I'm never going to go into a kick thinking I'm going to miss. So I did what Coach sent me out there to do. But to be a part of OU history like that, and to just kind of wear that for everybody past OU and future, like it's really special. It's something that I never imagined would happen. But like I said, I mean, the guys really showed up on Saturday. They blocked their butts off for me, and we just had a really good game.
Any nerves at all coming in? 80,000 fans kicking in the stadium. You probably visioned it coming into the stadium, but what was it like actually being on the field?
You might not believe me, but I get more nervous watching kickers on TV than me when I'm kicking by myself. When it's me out there in a game, there's a certain like calmness that comes through, and I like I said, I think it's just everybody practicing. I'm just so confident in everybody and confident in what I do, and I go out there and it's just like pure bliss. Watching people on TV kick, I'm like, man, like what are they gonna do? How's their operation? They've been practicing. Like, what are they doing? But when it's us and when it's me, it's the best feeling in the world.
Tyler, is there an advantage to having one guy who does kickoffs and the other one that does field goals?
I was just telling somebody earlier, I'm not sure if I would have had the night I had if Zach Schmidt didn't have the night that he had. I mean, talk about 10 kickoffs. We scored 10 times. That doesn't happen too often. Usually, once we get into the SEC play, like a couple field goals a game, a couple touchdowns, those numbers are going to balance out. But in games like that, when you have 10 kickoffs, that's going to destroy anybody's leg, especially if you're doing both. So props to him. I mean, he's such a massive support beam for this team, and we're both just doing what we can to help this team out.
What was that competition like? Spring, summer, fall camp?
About as close as it can be, I think me coming in here helped him, and I think seeing how good he was, it helped me out. It's really like an iron sharpen iron situation. It was one of those things where, like, no matter who was going to step out on the field this year, there's going to be a lot of success. And, I'm happy to be on this end of it. But, that's just how it is. Both of us, we were just so good through it all. And it just humbles me even more to have this opportunity and be able to play with this team.
When did you find out that you were going to be the guy, at least, attempting the field goals to start the season?
Yeah, so it truly went all through fall camp. It was one of those things where it was close, and Zach Schmidt has the history of kicking in front of 80,000 people. With me, it was kind of like, what's he gonna do? But I was just kept battling every day. He kept battling every day, and we made it really tough on the coaches. I'll say that. Coach V, I think that's why he came out so late. We just didn't know. We just didn't know.
You talked about your ability to kind of lock in on game day. Brent also talked about that after the game. What do you do to kind of get yourself in that moment? Is it just kind of being out here on the field, or is there something you do before the game?
We Teddy Lehman came and talked to us about a month ago, and before I got here, I didn't know much of who he was, but I've learned a lot about him and got to know him. But what he told our team was that we were already halfway through this race of the season. It starts in January. When I think about how much work we've put in, how much running, kicking, all this and that, it's like, why wouldn't I come out and just feel some sort of confidence in all of that? I think it would be disrespectful to the team and disrespectful to the university if I didn't. But then just hearing guys talk about, this field's been here for 100 years. Seriously, that gives me goosebumps right now because I can't fathom that. I was when my great-grandparents were being born. I mean, like, come on. So when you think about how many people have stepped on this field and put their best foot forward and represented OU, that humbles me almost instantly. So I can walk out here and just feel comfortable knowing that I'm representing them, and I gotta put my best forward to honor that.
Even when things don't go through, snap, hold, kick, the PAT, what goes through your mind when things don't go perfectly and you still got to kick it through the uprights?
I'm telling you, I've seen Plaster, I've seen Ben Anderson, I've seen myself, the three of us together do this so many times since I've been here. I mean, I've only been here a year, and we have so much chemistry and this and that. I trust them with everything when I go out there, and I hope that they do the same for me, and I try to go prove everybody right when I do that. But when things don't go wrong, that's what I lean on. I just lean on trusting them, and hey, like, we'll get the next one. It doesn't matter. We're going to make the best of it, and we're going to go make some more kicks next.
So what happened in the PAT? Your flow, everything didn't work right, but you still got it through. Take me through that one.
Let's thank soccer for that one. I've played soccer for a long time, and in those moments, you just kind of get, like, literally when you walk out under these lights, it's just your like natural instincts coming out. The lights are on, there's fans in the crowd, and like everybody kind of blacks out a little bit. So soccer as my background. I think that's a lot to do with it.
What's the biggest kick you ever made?
The biggest kick I ever made. Well, there's two, I could say. So I made a 54-yarder back in the day at ETSU. Just remember sitting pregame, and we had hail covering the field like it had snowed. Like, we didn't know if we were going to play the game. We didn't know what was going to happen. Kind of a dead, empty crowd, but I walked into a situation that game and hit a 54-yarder. So that one felt really good. But I would say the biggest kick I ever made, probably against Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina. It was to put our team up at the end of the game, and we had a great operation back then too. It was just like one of those kicks where everyone feels like there's pressure, but I've always loved my teammates and love all the work I put in. So
I know Luke was asked this question as a special teams member. What do you think of Jackson's punt?
Well, that's the kick that punters dream for. The punt that punters dream for. I mean, how many times has he practiced that? I'm not sure. It's a crazy amount of time. We've done it a few times through practice to, like, get him ready for it. But in practice, he would put it inside the 5 every time. He's an automatic punter. I love Luke, but maybe Jackson Arnold should be the punter, right? Probably not. But he was a natural. That was such a pretty punt.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.